You know, I think the thing I'm most afraid of about women is that I think I fear that my ability to self-reflect, to uh, have empathy for women and want to listen to women, because that's what they tell us. You need to listen to us. Just listen more. Just communicate more. Just listen to what we're telling you. You're you're afraid of us. That's why you want to dominate us. That's why you want a submissive woman. You're afraid. You're just fragile. You're a fragile man. That's why you want what you want, is because you're actually weak. You're scared of women being in power. You're scared of women being your equal. You're scared of being emotionally available. You're scared of divulging private, vulnerable parts of yourself. Uh, you just need to do this. You just need to do that. And I genuinely would like it to be like this. Like, I would like that to be, oh, it sounds good. Like, that sounds good. But I'm afraid that because of everything that I've been shown, I'm afraid that if I listen to a woman, um, that my desire to listen, to be understanding, to be empathetic, to be self critical, self analytical, self aware, all these traits, these qualities, that they will get taken advantage of, that they will actually be punished. That's why I say don't listen. That's why I say don't listen to women. Because a huge part of me really suspects, like genuinely suspects, that they say they want these things from you, what I just listed. And the second you show that you're giving them or you're willing to give them or capable of them, it's almost like, well, you shouldn't have. It's almost like she says, well, you shouldn't have listened to any of that. They are the strangest creature known to man. They're completely confusing. I think this is why I stay away from them, because they completely confound me. I mean, they're absolutely terrifying, bro. Because what are you to do? I mean, what is a man to do? Um, you you don't listen to them. You take charge. You want to dominate. You want to make the money. You want them to take a submissive role, traditional, cook, clean, raise the kids, don't go to work, don't play sports, don't do masculine things, traditionally masculine things. They say you're weak. It stems from like insecurity. It stems from fear. Like it stems from, oh, you're just anachronized. You just can't handle women equality and power. And that just stems from your weakness and your fear and all this stuff. Okay. But then, like, when you change, when you're like, okay, oh, sure, let's try it then. Let's try it. I think this is what the collective has been doing. This is what we did. We said, okay, sure, we'll listen to you. Let's try it. And so the collective tried it. We gave women like voting power and, okay, change their roles. Okay, now they're getting jobs, they're getting education, you don't have to have children. You can get on birth control. You can sleep with as many dudes as you want. You get a phone where you can get all the access to men that you want in the world. You get all these options open to you. You have the most freedom and power of any woman in the history of the species. Okay, great. Now let's try to make it work. And what do we get? Dating is effectively done, like toast. Um, the birth rate is off the cliff. Like, we're not having children. Like, everything's toast. Like, it's done. Men and women hate each other. And so you can kind of see why men the whole entire time are like, look, this is why we didn't do this, because we understand that it sounds good. We understand, like, we even tried it. Like, we even did it. We ran the experiment. But look at what happened, though. This is why we don't listen to you guys. Because we sense, and I don't think women are ready to admit this, but we sense that you guys really, you have a way of sabotaging your own happiness. You have a way of sabotaging the species. Everything that you want, like your desire for equality and power, comes at the detriment of the species. It comes at the detriment of your own attraction to a man. And like, this is a truth that I think is true. I mean, I think it is. I know that it doesn't sound good. I mean, I'll grant you that. It doesn't sound good. But I don't think that biology cares what sounds good to us. Nature doesn't care what sounds good to you. It could care less. There are rules, there are biological imperatives and rules that have been in place for hundreds of thousands of years since human beings have existed. And you can't you can't condition it away, like with culture and media brainwashing and television and movies and political movements, um, feminism. Like, feminism can't just will biology away. And this is the thing that I think women just can't accept. They can't accept. I think the thing that for women, what they're most terrified of is they're terrified that their happiness, their ultimate happiness, and the proliferation and the thriving of the species comes at the detriment to their power and their equality. That women must take the submissive role. That's the way that biology just intended it to be. Now, somehow, I don't even know if it's really submissive, because they're just different roles. Biology has dictated that women are the child bearers, that they take care of children, that they're more emotionally aware and just more emotional in general. They're not rational. They're more driven by emotion. There are reasons for these things, and they're not defects in women. These are not defects or weaknesses or faults. They're just they're actually strengths for what women are good at, for what they're designed to do. But they are weaknesses in a system like this that we have today, in which women are doing things that they're not designed to do. Have power, make a lot of money, just they're trying to be men. Women are trying to be men because they have been conditioned and brainwashed by society. Their mothers were brainwashed, their mothers were brainwashed. This has been going on for a long time. So it's all trickled down and it's all been a slow progressing thing, but they've been brainwashed by society to think that child rearing and childbirth even, and having one man, like only ever having one partner and being good and loyal and not making money and not having a high powered career and not playing athletics, like these things are not doing the things that men do, is somehow like you're being subjugated, you're being oppressed. And I mean, what can you do? What can you do? You try. We've tried it, and then the thing is, women will tell us today that the reason why like men aren't getting with women, and women hate all men, and like the dating is done, and marriage is over, and divorce rates are skyrocketed, and the birth rates in the toilet. Women are claiming that this is all because apparently they don't have enough freedom or power. They're still subjugated too much. Men are still afraid. They're like insecure. They're not emotionally aware enough. They're not willing to be equals enough. They're not, like, it's still just not enough. They're not willing to take part in raising the kids. They're not willing to take a more feminine role or a more just gender neutral role. They're not willing to listen to women. They're not willing to communicate with women. If only they would listen and communicate and approach. Well, you got to approach women now. But if you approach and you're not the guy that she likes, okay, well, you're going to get made fun of on TikTok or Instagram. It's a whole Me Too movement. You look at a woman or you ask her out or anything like that, she thinks you're a creep. And then they wonder why men don't approach, and now they're complaining that they don't approach, and they want men to approach. They want men to make a lot of money. They want men to be emotionally available, emotionally secure, intelligent, empathetic, witty, funny, have social status, confidence, dominant in the bedroom, pay for everything, all these things. And yet, but she wants to do, she basically wants to be the same way. You know, she wants to be, it's weird because they want to be dominated in the bedroom, but they want to be dominant in any room outside of the bedroom. So that shows a contradiction in women. Like women are not, they're not consistent in what they're doing. They want to be dominated in the bedroom, but yet outside of the bedroom, they want to be dominant. They want to be high-powered, career, boss. I make my own money, but you still have to pay for everything. I don't want to have kids. I want to be able to have a lot of male friends. You have to be comfortable with that. If you're not comfortable with a lot of male friends and me going out, alone and doing all these things with you not knowing where I am or whatever, then you're insecure, you're afraid, you're weak, all these things. And it's just really a test. I think this is all just kind of a test on, at a certain point, men have to realize that the female, she can't stop herself. She can't even see it, right? It's almost like, this sounds crazy, like this is a crazy statement, but like it's almost like they have to be very controlled, like almost enslaved. And I'm not saying like we need to make women slaves, but it's kind of like that. Like they are their own worst enemy, and they are the worst enemy of the entire species. They're literally killing everything. And so they need to be protected from themselves. And it's like that's literally like they're a child. That's why we say women are children, because it's like you have to protect children from themselves. Children want to do crazy things. They want to eat 17 uh, ice cream sandwiches for lunch, or like for breakfast or something. They don't think that they're going to like puke later, or that they won't be hungry, or they want to eat a ton of sugar at 10 o'clock at night. And then, of course, they'll be up and bouncing off the walls they won't get any sleep. And then they'll be tired and dragging ass the next morning, and probably get, clipped by a bus or a bicycle. And then they're bleeding out and they're crying, and they should be going to school, but you know, it's just a whole thing where they don't think ahead. You have to stop them from themselves. And this is what I think, this is what I believe is actually the truth about women. But the unfortunate, it's just unfortunate that they're like this. I mean, number one, because it's like, man, dude, like, these are who we procreate with. Like, these are the types of like beings that we share households with. And like, these are the types of beings that we've let out into the wild, and like given them a ton of freedom and a ton of power and a ton of education and upward mobility and affirmative action, and you can do sports and you can do everything that men do. And like, we've done this with them, and it's like, no wonder things are terrible, because you've basically just let the kids drive the car and run the finances and run the household and decide when to clean and decide how to get to the grocery store and what we need at the grocery store. Like, you let the kids run the household, and you'll have a whole pantry full of just sugar cookies and Doritos. The fridge is empty except for Capri Suns. Like, the house is a mess. The dog hasn't been fed in 3 days. So it's like, it's the same thing. This is what we're getting with women in power in society. Now we're wondering what's going on. But still, women are the most deceptive beings that were ever created. And so the whole game is like, can you see this? Can men see this? Can we finally see that this is what's happening? Do you have the balls to be like, you know what? No matter what women say, no matter how much guilt and shame they throw your way, of like, you can't make us into traditional women. Like, you're just scared. You're just oppressive. You're just misogynistic. You're scared of female power. You're blah, 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 blah. Can you see through it all? Can you finally see through it all and just see that this is their only way? This is their only way. And the entire, the crux of it is you believing it. Like, that you believing it, you believing them is like the entire crux of it. And if you can just see through it and be like, you know what? Everything that comes out of your mouth is almost all terrible. And now I have the ears to be able to distinguish the 1% of stuff that comes out of your mouth that's actually good. And the rest of the 99%, I'm sorry, but I have to not listen to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but we have to not listen to you the majority of the time. And especially about all the guilting and the shaming. That's why it's so difficult to be a man. That's why, like, the man is like the ultimate dude in charge. Like, that's why we've done this thing. That's why we are the leaders. Because it requires the knowledge, the eyesight, the wisdom to be able to spot the female deception at the most realized form, like its biggest form. You have to be able to see through female deception. because they will never, like, they'll just keep deceiving you and keep deceiving you, and they think that it's funny. They'll tank the birth rate, and they'll tank your power, and they'll take all your jobs, and they'll make 79,000 genders, and you know, they'll just make all this crazy stuff, and they'll just laugh, and they'll just keep saying that it's you, that you're the reason for this. It's like you're dealing with something that is just very disturbing. These are entities that just, they're very disturbing things. And it's just unfortunate that this is the world we live in. All that to say, you know, I wish it wasn't the case. I wish women were right. I wish it was as simple as I don't listen to you because I'm scared and I'm weak, and if only we listened to you, things would get better. And if we're just equals, things are better. I wish it was. I genuinely do. I think that sounds good too. Like, that sounds as good to me as it does to you. Unfortunately, that's just not the game. Like, that's not the way it is. And that's why this game is so hard. That's why women are so difficult. It's the whole point. You have to be able to take what sounds good and be like, you know what? All this sounds really good. And I'm going to be made the bad guy for saying that we shouldn't do any of this. But it has to be done. I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm going to be the villain. I'm going to be called misogynist. I'm going to be called sexist. I'm going to be called terrible, a Nazi, whatever, a racist, whatever. I'm going to be called all these things. I'm going to be labeled just awful. Okay. I can do that because I see that is part of it. That's the whole thing. If I have to be made the villain and women have to be angry at me, so women can be attracted to me, and they can be attracted to all these men, and they can respect all these men, and we can have children, and we can make this thing work, then okay, that's what we're going to do. But it's what has to be done. This video is long enough. I gotta end it. I might just post this right now. I've already posted a video today. I might post 2 in one day, just because I think this needs to get out to the world as soon as possible. It's just another video about women, dude. What am I saying? It's not gonna change the world. Probably won't do shit. Anyway, that's it. That's the video, boys.